welcome back to Troyer's Travels. Today we're at the salt mines. As you walk around the building, you can check out the mural on the side as well as the artifacts out front. At the time of this filming, COVID was in full swing, so masks were required, 6 feet distancing was required, and there probably weren't as many people there as there usually would be. As you make your way into the lobby, you can see it's kind of empty, but they have that penny press, they have seating, and then also they have a map. This map was one of the highlights of my trip because it shows the progression over time from the 20s on down to the current time period, and this is where they've dug underneath the city. It has street names and everything else, so you're able to kind of see where it is that this mine that you're about to enter goes into. You can see they have restrooms, and before you start they have an informational video telling you all about it. Since you're going into an active salt mine, of course, safety equipment is necessary to keep anyone from being injured. This is known as the hoist. It's the elevator, which is capable of taking 30 people at a time, 650 feet below the surface of the earth. They have signs all over the place down here, so if you like reading about the place that you're at, you can definitely do that. They also have some interactive displays that show you information about the mine, how deep it is. The kids like the interactive part. They have crystal pods. They have signs for different things like that along the way, so you can read through those and gain some more education. Great for field trips and homeschool trips and everything else. As you walk down the road here, after the initial signs, you'll find some rock salt, some mud, some salt dust, and different things like that for the kids and adults alike to feel and to check out. You're able to find some of those. I have some salt secrets and some other things, as well as the largest chunk of solid salt they have pulled out of the mine yet. Once you've had a chance to check out this giant rock of salt and look at all the areas of the mine they have taken salt from, feel free to check out some of the vehicles that they have on display and some of the videos and other things which tell you about the salt mining process. They have some of the equipment laying around for you to look at firsthand, and some of these vehicles have seen better days, but the thing is, what they do is they bring it down into the mine piece by piece and they leave it there. They'll tell you later on in the tour that whatever comes to the mine stays in the mines. Here's a classic example of that, and there's actually another vehicle kind of similar along the route on the dark ride or the train ride, and that one they said was just left right where it broke down, so that's what they did back then. You'll notice along the way they have some photo ops listed, like right there on the top of that rock. There's so much room in this mine you could practice handstand walking or gymnastics or anything else. And as a matter of fact, pre-COVID they were holding 5K races down here, so that's something else if you're interested in running you can check out. And notice that STRATACA was also used as a storage facility. Another part of this tour is of their storage facility. If you notice, it talks about common disasters, earthquakes, hurricanes, and things like that don't affect the storage facility, and it's always a constant temperature, so it's perfect for storing film and other things which might get damaged, as well as paper and things like that. You can read through the explanation for all of the different items they have listed here and shown here. You can also look through some of the movie artifacts that they have on display, as well as rows and rows of boxes full of documents and films and everything else. Troy, Men in Black, Superman, Batman, and Robin are just some of the movies that you'll see props from. And just like any other good tour, as soon as you finish with it, you exit into the gift shop. They have a wide variety of items here: hats, shirts, all kinds of other things, toys for the kids, pens, pencils, you name it. The shirts have a wide variety of sayings, most of them regarding salt, and the miners' hats were a big hit with the kiddos. The STRATACA Dark Ride is a great way to get acquainted with the difficulties involved with being a miner.
One, after you've been down here for a long period of time, your mind will play tricks on you. You don't know whether or not you're actually awake or asleep. And two, when you do go topside, the sun can actually burn your eyes. So I'll go ahead and turn the light on so you adults in the back don't get scared. Now, as we come around this corner, we can talk about air. Because right here on this particular point in the mine, we can actually feel the fresh air that's coming down out of our shaft. This is close to one of our vents. Now, when the miners started mining in this configuration, this room and pillar configuration, the mine grew very fast, very large. So the miners realized that rather than trying to fill the entire mine full of fresh air, they really only needed to divert it down corridors to where the miner was working at the face of the mine. So what we see here to our left is an example of a gob wall. What the miners were trying to do is they were building a wall in between this doorway, or this cut as the miners call it, and blocking off the airflow so that it can't get to the other side of that column. And they were trying to keep the good air on this side so they could go down this corridor. And as you learned on your train ride, the reason they're using dynamite boxes to build these walls is because, after all, everything that comes down in the mine stays in the mine. And we had plenty of dynamite boxes. Now this particular gob wall, and the one that we're going to look at earlier or later down through our tour, these are all original to this area of the mine from the 40s.
The STRATACA train ride is another great place to pick up some fun and interesting facts about mining life. As you go through, they'll show you some different things and they'll tell you some stories. This has been aptly named the Salt Mine Express.
In case you were wondering, trash isn't the only thing miners left underground. And apparently this area was used as a restroom. Oh, no fancy porta pots here. And they weren't very careful with the toilet paper either. And this is one reason we say, don't lick the salt.
When you've checked out everything downstairs, head back to the hoist and they will bring you back to the surface. Whenever you're in the lobby, you can check with guest services and find out what they have going on at the current time. Sometimes they do events with Boy Scouts, sometimes they do 5Ks, sometimes they do other things. They do have a conference room available, so if you or anyone you know is looking to throw an event, that is one opportunity, 650 feet below the surface of the earth. Don't forget they do have several varieties on the press penny machine, so you can complete your collection. Thanks again for watching. Please visit www.amazon.com/author/David H. Troyer to check out my books. Please visit www.davidhtroyer.com. Check us out on our other social media websites at David H. Troyer on Twitter. We're on Patreon, Instagram, and many others. Have a great day, and we hope to see you in our travels.
Now about 70% of the salt that is harvested in this particular mine actually goes to road salt. The other 30% goes to animal feed, salt blocks, chicken feed, that type of stuff. But as I come up over this floor heave, if everybody could look overhead as we go through here. We're going to go kind of slow so everybody can get a chance to look. This is a red salt display. Now, in the early days of the mine, farmers would not buy the red salt for their animals. So if a farmer wasn't buying it, a miner wouldn't mine it. So they did what they did right here. They found that red salt and they just worked around it. But today, farmers actually pay extra money for that red salt because it's the potassium in it that they need for their animals. So we're going to take a left-hand turn back here onto Avenue G Street again. And as you guys can tell, the traffic isn't that bad down here.